Um, just studying, reading, doing research online.
Hmm.
Mm.
Interesting. Same for me. I know a lot of people are joining webinars, doing different sort of things. I mean, it's just one just has to maximize this free period, right? No,
Most
no matter
definitely.
how bad it
Most
is,
most definitely.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So, should we just shoot straight? We have it's 5 minutes, or we should wait for the 5 minutes mark. It's for 15,
Let's
five
go to the
minutes.
5 minutes mark.
Okay, okay. So let's just
Okay.
talk in general
Can
terms.
you see me properly?
Yeah, very clear, very clear,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
very clear. Just give me. You can
Okay.
see me clearly, right?
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you so much for joining us, Drew.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So I would like to meet you. Just introduce yourself. So for the benefit of those who have just seen the banner and then they don't know who you are, what you do, and what you want to talk about. So just let us know who you are.
Okay. I'm Drew Uyi. Um, my last name is Ogbomoide. My parents are from Nigeria, obviously, from Edo State. I was born in the UK, moved to Nigeria when I was 4, came back to Europe when I was 14. So basically, I've lived in Nigeria 10 years straight of my life, but I'm very much Nigerian. You know, um, I'm into sports. My background is media. I studied sports and event management at university in the UK. I've worked in different departments in football. It's echoing. There's
But I
there's
can hear you
there's an
clearly.
echo.
No, I think it's the rain. It's raining, so there's a lot of noise.
Oh, it's raining. It's raining in Nigeria. Okay.
It's
Oh,
raining.
fair enough.
And I
Not a
think it only
problem.
rains in Port Harcourt here. Every other
I
place
can
is so
I can
sunny.
I can hear the rain loud and clear because of my headphones.
Yeah.
But okay, I'll focus on the interview. Yeah,
Let's focus on
basically
you.
I've done a lot. I've done a lot in football. Basically, I started with football about 20 years ago. I went to the France '98 as a teenager, and from there I've had interest in. Wow, the rain is bad. I've had interest in sports. Um, I've After my graduation, I went into entertainment. I was into entertainment for 15 years before I came back to sports for the last 2 years. So I noticed, wow, it's quite loud.
It's quite loud, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to see how I can. 1 second. Let me remove my AirPod. I'm using um earphone. Earphone. Let me see. Let me see earphones. Sorry, 1 second. The rain is loud. How does it feel now?
Oh, much better.
Yeah.
Much
Okay.
better. Yeah.
Can shoot.
Okay. Yeah. So as I said, I'm in the football. I'm in the sports space. You know, So that's about it. Though. I'm there. I'm here to change the narratives. I'm here to. I see myself as an agent of change. I think I can offer. I have a lot to offer. So that's it really.
Yeah. So you've been into football agents. Like for how long have you been doing this? And how is it like working with players and athletes?
From day one, I always wanted to be an agent. That's why I studied sports management, right?
Mm.
But by the time I graduated, I did a few jobs, but obviously no one was. The agents there they were quite discreet. They didn't want to take people on because it's more like a family business. It's really up to them who they want to work with. Most of them they work with their their son-in-law is like a family business, really. So I left it for a bit, and I went. Obviously, the entertainment chose me to come and do management. So I worked with a lot of artists, Faze, African China, and a lot of artists. I don't want to drop names. I worked with literally most of the artists. Okay, after then when they changed the law in FIFA, when they changed the law that you can just register with your FA, that's when I came back. Wow. Then I came back into sport and I registered with the English FA. That was about 2 years ago, and since then it's been it's been interesting. I've been doing what I have to do. Bringing new dimension into it. You know, for the I'm street. I basically I work with African players. My calling, I don't it's a business, but it's more of a calling than a business. As I said before, I just want to change the narratives for African players because I just think that they're not they don't get enough attentions because obviously if they're with the bigger agencies, they're just like a number. They don't really focus on them. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm back in the game.
Yeah. So I mean, people say that that it's difficult to work with Nigerians. You have been in the UK for a while. So
Yeah.
what do you think? Do you think it's the same thing?
It's all about trust. Right? It's not difficult to work with Nigerians, but the Nigerians, there are a lot of time wasters, or they just realize sometimes when they watch maybe after the World Cup, all of a sudden they think, oh, I used to play football in secondary school, I'm still good. The old guys, they just say, okay, they want to jump into, they want to jump. So there are too many people, that want to play football, but I don't think, I mean, if the footballers got what it takes, it's easy to work with them. I mean, even the problem with most Nigerian footballers, like footballers in Europe, they are too loyal. They're
Mm.
loyal to their agents. They see their agent as God. The footballers, yeah, they kind of make the agent, not the other way around. But
Mm.
a lot of young footballers, because when they're in Europe, if you're not playing in the Premiership,
Yeah.
if you're not playing Serie A or La Liga or Bundesliga in the top five league, yeah, you're still more or less struggling. You're still like in the woods. So they call me the way some agents maltreat them, you know. They like, someone I've played in Europe for 4 years, the agent is to say, if you talk, I will deport you to Nigeria, you know. And our footballers, they have to know that, you have to balance it. Yeah, you have to take your destiny into your hands. Offering you anything, you have to tell them that you want to work with someone else. Like you want to you
Guys, is this from
problem
my
working with
end?
it. I think
Can you see me? Can you hear me?
I can see
So
you. I can see
I
you.
mean,
Mm.
can you hear me, Drew?
I can hear you loud.
Are you with me? All
Yeah,
right.
I'm with
So
you
the
100%.
purpose of organizing or putting this up is to explain, to try to understand what it means. What a lot of people say, oh, Nigerian players, African players, athletes, they need to be branded. What does it mean to be branded? What does it mean to have proper branding? What is branding itself for athletes and for footballers?
Yeah, for footballers, as far as I'm concerned, everybody's a brand. Yeah, and especially if you are a pro soccer player, if you signed your deal even before then, you are a brand. You know, so brand. What is brand really? Brand is it's more or less is brand is reputation.
Okay, so sorry guys. I think this is network from my end.
I think it's the rain.
Yeah, I
The,
mean,
the, the, the
it
rain
started
is.
raining and then they took the light.
Oh, oh,
First, it
mm.
started raining, they took the light. Second, we needed to be sure that the network was going to be good.
Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Okay, all right. So you were saying you
So,
were
so,
talking about branding for
yeah,
players.
yeah, yeah. You're talking about, okay, what's brand? Brand is the gut feeling, what people, the story people tell about you. What people know about you. That's your brand. Your
Mm,
brand is storytelling.
mm.
So if you do not brand yourself, people will brand you. You might be the nicest guy. You might be what agents say a
So
lot
now,
from
honestly, I didn't hear a thing.
I said, your brand manager is
Yes.
somebody that sits and look at your brand and then
Mhm.
structure it for you.
Mm,
Your day-to-day activities, anything you do. It's like branding is like a snowball effect. You need to cash on stuff. You know, your brand manager might be there working, you know, until you have to put a spin to whatever comes up. You know,
mm,
if you have to be watching. You know, for instance, that like with Manchester United, yeah, Igalo in Manchester United, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, he's the brand manager for him. The job he should be doing because Manchester United is a big club. They don't tag players, so your brand manager should be on guard. Anytime they post your stuff, your brand manager should go there, comment, make sure you're visible.
Mm,
People are seeing your handle and everything. So this is with experience.
mm.
I think a good brand manager is somebody that studied something to do with media
With media,
or with
marketing.
media that have a flair, marketing, PR, and then have an experience. When I graduated, I'm not working with what I studied. I'm working with my experience over time. So
Mm,
I can look at any player within seconds. I will know what to do.
mm,
But
mm.
the players, they have to. I cannot be chasing players. They have to come to. I look at a lot of players and say, listen, you got a massive brand. Like in
Mm,
Nigeria, they have massive brand, but they're not doing anything about it.
mm. All right. So, guys, please, if you have your question, please send them over, and I'll take them once it's time to start taking those questions. I see someone asking already. Do brand managers bring in endorsement for you?
Yeah, most definitely, but you have to give them something to work with. Brand manager will definitely bring in endorsement, but you have to be a brand first. You have to, because before a brand will work for you, you have to be attractive. They have to get excited about it. So the
Mm,
question we should be asking: why are most Nigerian? Why do the brand, the corporate brand, why do they go for our artists? Why do they go
mm.
for other people and not
Yeah.
for the footballers?
Honestly, I was going to come to that. Like,
Mm,
I feel very, sometimes I feel very disappointed that there are lots of players that we look up to, and then all these brands, telecommunications, drinks, they all go for the artist. And then
oh,
what's going
let's
on?
let's look at the history of branding in Nigeria. Yeah, let's go to history, and then we'll know the present, and we'll look at the future. Yeah, uh, in the past, you will know that it will interest you to know. Obviously, you will know that Kanu, JJ Okocha, Osazel Demige, Victor Moses, lots of them, they had endorsements. Victor Moses, he's been with Pepsi for God knows
for a while.
Yeah, this started this started like 25 years ago. He got what do you call it? Kanu had endorsement. JJ Okocha had an endorsement. These people then. It's not like it was easier, but then there was no competition. Yeah. Then our music have not picked up. Yeah. The Nollywood have not picked up. Yeah. There are different kind of there's a competition now that between the artists there, the Nollywood actors and actresses are there. Then what do you call it? The social media influencers in the last 5 years, a lot of social media influencers. Yeah. So with the history, those guys used to get endorsement easily. Kanu had picnic, but now, they can still have endorsement, but it's just how they apply themselves. And they need to have somebody in Nigeria or a Nigerian representing them. Because, okay, for argument's sake, you have a white agent. He would not be able to.
He won't be able to handle things in Nigeria for you.
It's not his business, and at the same time, he's making enough money anyway, even what you don't even know about. Yeah, you see, like what's his name? Alex Iwobi. Alex Iwobi have a black agent. He's not. It's like a British, a black British guy, but he goes to Nigeria. He talks to these people. It's all about networking. So that's how Iwobi has a lot of endorsement. Ahmed Musa have a lot of endorsement. But
Ahmed Musa.
Ahmed Musa, Igalo has his own. Yeah, I did the Pepsi for Igalo. I did Pepsi for Musa. I did Pepsi for Shehu. Yeah. What do you call it? Victor Moses was there already, and Alex Iwobi. This was just before the World Cup. Yeah. So it was easier for me to do because I have a personal relationship with them.
Yeah.
So I did what I have to do. But most of our players, they're abroad. When they're abroad, their agents are maybe not Nigerians. So it's difficult to connect with the brands. And it's more difficult now because we have other celebrities. Before, people like Omokachi, when Omokachi steps up, everywhere will be like, people are excited about.
People are excited,
People are excited. One of my mentor, the guy I work with, that is my mentor that did all the endorsement for Coach and Kanu. I asked him, recently, at the beginning of the year when I came to Nigeria, I was in his office, I said, why are they not endorsing the players now? He said there's no much excitement about them. You have to be exciting. And even now, I would say it's easier because of social media in the last 5 years. So you have to be, you have to be doing things. Okay, like for instance, they say, oh, I don't want to be I don't want to be Instagram famous or Instagram star. No, you don't have to do it yourself. People can do it for you. You can be sleeping on people. People can be sleeping, people be branding you. But is this trusting? Again, they don't want to trust people. Sometimes they'll rather give it to maybe to a European company. But those people don't really understand. They don't understand your cultural background. You see, so you need somebody that understands your cultural background. If for instance, somebody like Igalo now, I know what Ajegule means. I know what the street means. If you can catch the street market, endorsement, brands will come for you. It's just like Naira Marley. Naira Marley is in the street. Everybody, he's the one that's turning away.
The guy is everywhere now.
Everybody they will look and say, okay, they want him. It's just a matter of money now, if they're paying enough or not.
Yeah.
So I think the future is bright. Yeah, I think with social media, the brands can see our players, but most of them don't have a lot of following, and it's easier for them to get following. how do you get followings? Interaction. You have to interact. Engagement. So, but when you probably you are not consistent, you don't post all the time, you don't celebrate yourself. If you don't celebrate yourself, nobody's going to celebrate
Who's
you.
going to celebrate you exactly? If you don't
Yeah.
celebrate little victories, who's going to celebrate you?
The truth of the matter, there's a lot of I've seen a lot in this game. So that's it's a short window. Yeah. There's a short one. I know somebody's scamming me. I know somebody on Instagram is some guy that's on Facebook is using my image to scam people. Just scammed a lot of people.
That's very crazy, honestly.
Guys, go and report that page on Facebook. Report report it on Facebook. Yeah.
I think I'm going to do that as well. I mean, because it's so stupid of him using your face and then the account number, the account name, everything.
No, it's just, eventually he will be caught. He should be doing what he's doing. Yeah. So going back to what we were saying is that Brian Nigerian players for me it's like a piece of cake. It's very possible they can get endorsement. As far as I'm concerned, quote me anytime. As far as you are playing for the Super Eagles, you are entitled to an endorsement. You can get an endorsement. You can get an endorsement, but you just have to apply yourself. You have to do the right thing, So every Nigeria pro can have an endorsement. You just have to understand how it works,
So you've said something about social media, getting a manager, ensuring that the manager keeps working for you on your behalf, and then you need to provide the manager something to work with. Is that correct?
Yeah, content. The manager you provide, but the manager can. You need to have a team. I've seen people, successful, people that have done well with their brands. People like in Africa, someone like Samuel Eto'o. Samuel Eto'o has a team. Once you're a pro, you're doing well. You need a team of about 2-3 people. You have a WhatsApp group. People put pictures there. Your manager will liaise. Your brand manager will liaise with the media director or with the media manager of your club. With the photographers, they will be sending them pictures. You just need to. You don't need to do. To be honest, a footballer don't need to do anything. They just need to give the mandate to a trustworthy person that take care of this stuff.
Do this on my behalf.
Do this on my behalf, and the person is getting paid. The person will just get all he needs, and this is I'm saying from the experience from the entertainment industry. You see, you don't need to do much, even if you don't want to give your Instagram handle out. Like you don't want to commercialize yourself. You don't want to be posting all the time. A fan page, get a proper fan page. Get the fan page. Tell the person. You don't need the part. You just have to look into the fan page once in a while. Once in a while, let the person be posting frequently. So direct people to that page if they want to see more about you, because your page is your TV. Your page is your TV. It's your media house. You need to.
So sorry, Drew. So in essence, you're saying that as a footballer, I should have a fan page aside my personal page.
Yeah, a fan page that you control. That's the biggest mistake. Most of our players, they don't even know who's controlling their fan page. I've done so much of people. Like I just laugh because first and foremost, most of their fan page, are being managed by young guys, like maybe 14 years old guys that are excited about the player. These people are doing it for free. All you need to do, reach out to this young chap, give them just a jersey, like give them something. They will work 120% for you. And then if you tell them, okay, give the password to my brand manager to be posting stuff as well. I'll give you an example from Wizkid. Wizkid just had a fan page. He didn't know about the page, but when the page grew, he had to reach out to the guy like, guy, what's up? Give me this password. Because he doesn't like posting all the time. But people go to the fan page to see stuff about Wizkid.
Yeah, true.
Same thing. We did the same thing for Burna Boy. Burna Boy was there. Burna Boy doesn't like posting a lot. Just post once in a while. But within 6 months, his fan page grew
It grew.
to over 1 million because the person in charge of that page was posting all the time. You know, so these are the things that brands, corporate brands, they look at. Okay, if you're coming, your brand equity, you have a page, you have a fan page. That fan page, you can post on that fan page anything you like, you know, and you tell the brand that, okay, I will post maybe once or twice in my main page, but trust me, on my fan page, I'll post about you guys all the time. They'll be happy. So the truth about a footballer cannot do everything. He needs a brand manager to liaise. A brand manager will liaise with your fan page. Yeah. A brand manager will liaise with your fans, will liaise with the media, will liaise with anything. It will take care of business for you. So if you look at you don't have the time, it will come back to haunt you.
So you're familiar with the scene in Nigeria. So do you think our athletes or our footballers are doing enough to brand themselves? Do you think, honestly speaking, they are doing enough?
Footballers in Nigeria or footballers abroad?
Footballers in Nigeria. Or then we'll come to abroad.
In Nigeria, where do you start from? The one like they've not even started at all. Because unfortunately the teams are not doing anything. So if the teams are not doing anything, where do they want to? They want to be branding. You need to have a platform for you to brand. Okay, you're branding yourself. Okay, if you're branding yourself, it starts on the bio from your profile. When you brand yourself, you say you play. You want to say you play for which team. If the team is not online, how does that make sense?
Very true.
Like, so it starts from the club. You understand? And it's very easy. It's not a rocket science. All the Premiership club in Nigeria, the Premier League club in Nigeria should have a page. People have gone from looking at websites. They don't have the patience. You need to have an Instagram page. If all of them have an Instagram page, then they can mandate all the players to have an Instagram page. Then the club will follow them, will start pushing for them. Young players in Europe, that's what they do with them. I'll talk about players. People like Victor Osimhen and Samuel Chibuze. The club, they're branding them because they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're pushing them big time because they know that these guys they're gonna move on from here to they have their target
to the next level. Exactly.
Exactly. To the next level. So Nigerian clubs, they say they want to sell players, they'll contact you, they want to sell players. What are you doing for the players?
In terms of visibility, what exactly have you done for the player?
What have you done for the players? Let us see this player. Let us have a history of this player. The most important thing is that why do European clubs, why they don't like buying African players, especially Nigerian players? Because of age cheats.
Yeah.
The age problem is there. But when you have a page, they see, okay, you sign this guy under 18, they see the process. Okay, 2015, that's his age. They see. They will not doubt the age. But there's no history whatsoever. You just bring something, boom. The person says he's 20 years old. From where? What was he doing 5 years ago? In Aston Academy, they have a record of these players from age 8. So there's no argument about their age. So Nigerian clubs can have academy as well. They can start documenting these players, different stage. So by the time you look, like people hit me up on Instagram, I look at Instagram, maybe 3 years ago, they were a tailor, you see the other day there was musician, and then all of a sudden they say they are footballers. I say, how? There's no history, that's the branding. So people think players in Nigeria, you have to brand yourself properly. You have to see what you were doing in 2015. At least I need to see 5 years back. So if you're not playing ball, you're not playing soccer 5 years back, and all of a sudden you say you are playing, I won't take you seriously.
I'm going to the followers now, the audience now. Someone is saying that so as an athlete, he should have, that is Xavier _ Pablo. He says, so an athlete should have a brand manager apart from his agent. Yeah, I think Drew already mentioned that.
110%. 110%. It should. You should, if you know what is good for you.
So Amobi Ezeaku says each player in Rangers has a player passport with their playing history. The club might not be where it wants to be, but I mean, I look at the clubs in Nigeria and I laugh sometimes. Not all of them are even active on social media. I can count a few clubs that I see Rivers United, I see Eimba, I see Kano Pillars. They have a huge fan base. I see Rangers FC, Lobby, and then the rest are just struggling, trying to even Remo Stars. They try.
Let me tell you something. Yeah, this is funny. Yeah, this guy, I don't know what he's talking about the Rangers. Yeah, if they are not online, you people are undermining Instagram. I hope you know that I was the media director until recently of a club in Slovenia. Yeah. If I sit down with my team, yeah, if we're looking at a player, we'll go first thing, we'll Google the person. If you Google the person, the Instagram page will be like 10. We'll go to pop up. Do you know that clubs, they go through Instagram to sign players? You don't even know.
Can you say that again? Clubs go through
Instagram
the Instagram profile of a player before they sign.
To check before they sign. They check. It's not like they send clubs. It's not the right with club. They send message. They DM players. The DM player say, "Who is your agent?" But it's a player they see online. That's a player they're going to reach out to. If they have a particular player, it's gone are the days to say, "Oh, we don't have a phone number for the person." They will give you a mandate. Okay, we need this player. If you don't have the easiest way is to go through Instagram, they will DM. They will DM the player that, "Oh, can you give us your agent's number? We're interested in you." So in Nigeria, if every pro player in the league should have an Instagram page,
okay,
and the club should have an Instagram page, because they okay, you say you want to say a player, the player is not online. The easiest way, the first contact is Instagram. You go and check, okay, how does this player look like? How tall is he? You have to put a picture in your head. You have to, I'm talking to people. I said, send me your picture. Let me have a picture of who I'm talking to. So that image will be there. That image will be in the head of the club owner.
Of the club, exactly.
Of the club. So, okay, this guy, the guy is lanky. I think let's give this guy a try. But if there's no picture of the guy, it's just off your head. Nah.
I'll take one more question before I head back to my questions. Shubomi_Leaks_sport is asking, how do you brand a player playing in the Nigerian Professional Football League? How do you brand such a player?
It's easy. You have to give me something to work with. If first somebody like people, because I'm out there, people meet me on the street, the church I go to, a lady came to me, "Oh, my sister plays football in Nigeria. I want you to help her, see what you do." I said, "Is she on Instagram?" He said, "No." So how do you want me to help? It's not about Instagram, but that's the first step. I told her to open an Instagram page, put some pictures, let me see. You have to give me something to work with. Every pro player, should have an Instagram page, a Twitter page, a Facebook page, and a YouTube page at the least. Those four are very important. I said branding is storytelling. There must be a story about you. There must be how am I going to brand if there's no story about you?
Very true.
There must be a history, and your story is your legacy. Branding is so important to your career. You don't even understand. They don't, look at Michael Jordan. He retired years ago, but the clip is not on Netflix. It's going to be making millions already, even if he's giving the money out to charity. He's already a billionaire. If he did not brand himself, he wouldn't be a billionaire. And history has shown that, your brand, can account for 90% of what you are worth. So whatever you're earning now, salary-wise, if you brand yourself properly, you can make 10 times that money with your brand.
Okay. I mean, I'll come back to your question. The Africa Jaguar. I'm coming to your question. I can see your question. Your question is a very important question, right? But I also believe that some Nigerian players do have endorsement with Nike, with the Adidas, with Puma, and the likes. We see all these things. But I mean, I'm just going to allow Drew handle it. He says, the Africa Jaguar says, why do most Nigerian players don't have endorsement from brands like Nike, for example? So I want you to clarify that, but I think they do.
They do. They do. But it should be bigger than that. We should be
That's
thinking about
that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. So it should be bigger than that.
It should be bigger than that.
All right. Wow. I mean, I'm learning myself. If you are learning, just say yes. Let's do it like a church. If you're learning something, just say yes. Or you give me high five, thank you, or just give me thumbs up. Give Drew thumbs up if you think that you're learning anything from this conversation right now. Just let everybody do thumbs up, guys. Let's do thumbs up. Yeah. OJB says Oduduru is with Puma. The only Nigerian, if I'm right. I mean, we have a couple of Nigerians who've got
that is a list of it. That is not brand. That is not endorsement. Equipment, like, you have that, that's not what you should be,
that's not what you should be getting.
That's not what you should be getting. They will pay you whatever, but it's all about you having your own shoes. Like, it's possible.
Like Pogba.
Pogba has, do you think it's not by coincidence? Pogba invests a lot of money on his brand.
I don't want to talk about Pogba now, Drew. Sorry to cut you short. Let me talk about Taribo West, right? I grew up watching Taribo West as well. He had TW. How did that happen? Taribo West. How?
How? What do you mean?
Like, how does this thing happen? How do you get to the level where you have your own shoes? Your name is like Cristiano Ronaldo.
I have a picture. I have a picture with Taribo West with those shoes. With that
TW, yeah.
TW, I'll put on the Instagram for you guys to see. That is the level. But unfortunately for him then, marketing budget was very high. You understand?
Yeah.
Nothing is new under the sun.
True.
You understand? Taliban had that. I was in the camp. That's why I said I have a history of this football stuff, before I went into entertainment and came back again. So I've got what it takes. I'm very knowledgeable. Taribo West had that. He had partners. Obviously, he wasn't doing it by himself. But they produced the boots, but the marketing budget then, because you have to go on TV, you have to, so they could not really push it out like that. Okay, coming back to 2020, if any Nigerian player should do that, the marketing, what happened? Opportunities has gone up. Opportunities in football has gone up, while the budget has gone down. Did you get that? Should I repeat myself?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Sorry. Just give me a second. Now, I'm back. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So please shoot.
Okay. In recent times, in like 2020 now, in football, and like in every other thing, opportunity has gone up, while marketing budget has gone down. You don't need to put your stuff on TV anymore. You can put, that's why I said your Instagram is your media house. You can, for cheap, you can put it on Instagram. Let me plug my guy. You can put it on Tunde Not. You can put it anywhere. People in pages that it's
that
cheap
have
for
a
you.
Good follower.
Have good following. So this, like, people like Taribo had good intentions, but unfortunately, they didn't have much opportunities like now. So I challenge the players of nowadays that they should calm down, do the right thing. Don't be carried away. Don't be satisfied. Don't be like a crocodile after finish eating, you just calm down. No, no matter how much you're earning, you should be able to earn more. You should be earning more outside football. For me, a player, I think a player is successful when he's making more money outside the sport. That is my own philosophy. You understand? That is like Ronaldo. you're making more money outside your stuff. How can Ronaldo is making more money from Instagram than he's making from football? That's the plan. You can't. Any player can. You understand? Any player, as I said, any player can have an endorsement. You understand? So they should be able to, they should do the right thing. So going back to Terrible West, unfortunately, this sometimes they don't start on time.
Very true.
Because you have a short window, when you are popping, when you are like, maybe 5 years. You might be playing for half players that have been playing for 4 years. They're still in the woods. Their career is supposed to be like 10 to 12 years. Yeah. The first 4 years, nothing is happening. They're still in Europe, somewhere in some far east, Eastern European country. They're still in a Scandinavia country. If you are playing in Scandinavia, you're still in the woods, as far as I'm concerned. Then they then make it so maybe to the like Belgium or Holland or France and all that. Then when you make it there, how much do you have? Like 6 years left. If you're lucky, you could perform. So you have like 5 years. So all this time you have to be cashing in, like applying yourself, doing a lot of stuff. Because if you don't, by the time you finish your career, you'll be panicking. That's why most of Nigerian the ex-players are broke now. They have this money that it just you only have 1 or 2 chances. Once the investment goes wrong, that's it.
I don't want you to delve too much into that, because we're still going to come to talk about players who have retired at retirement stage, right?
That's
we have like 2 more questions before we get to that topic. So I want you to give us an insight. Just give us an estimate. What is the worth of this endorsement? Like, you might not mention the brand, but you can mention the ones that are published. If you have those numbers, just give us the numbers. Give us an idea.
It's like from where? From Nigeria or from the UK?
No, from anywhere in the world. Just anywhere in the world. We just want to have a number to work with. Like, players can actually make this much in terms of endorsement. That's what I mean.
You make from anything from $1 million to $50 million to the game has changed a lot.
Aside kicking football, you $1 million.
For one deal, you can make up to $100,000, $100 million rather. You can make up to 100 million. It depends. You have to have brand equities. It depends on what you're bringing on the table. You understand? For instance, like LeBron James now, one of his endorsements, Blaze Pizza, is already worth 40 million. Because it depends on how you go into it. He came in and said, listen, before then he had McDonald's that paid him $15 million US. Then he said, okay, when they came back to renew, say he doesn't want that deal. He wants something better. Then they went into partnership. So for you to go into partnership, it's all step. There's step to these things. Yeah. First and foremost, you have to have an endorsement. After the endorsement, then you can then move into partnership. And then after partnership is ownership. You see, so it's just like Steve Curry, the basketballer.
The basketballer.
He had an endorsement. Yeah. After a while, with the thank you very much, my secretary. Thank you. Yeah. After the first years after the endorsement expired, when he was renegotiating, he had equity and came on the table and said, "Listen, I want shares from this company for Amor."
Smart moves.
So you have to step by step.
Yeah.
First step, yeah. Yeah, he used the brand. Yeah. Of course, he used LeBron James there. Yeah, these things are out there. It's not a secret. You can do this stuff. Firstly, the procedure is that you have to brand yourself first.
Yeah.
If you brand yourself first, then you get the endorsement. After your endorsement, you then go into partnership, and then you go into ownership. You are only free when you are an owner. But you can only be an owner when you've gone through the stages. Is it so? Somebody that did not have an endorsement during his playing career, all of a sudden he said he wants to be an owner. It's going to be difficult. You have not learned it. You have not gone through the learning process. You see what I mean? So it's very important for our athletes to look into, branding themselves, for them to have brand equity, to sit down on the table with CEOs. I try to take it easy with our players. It's gone far beyond what we are saying now. Kanye West is not dealing with brand managers anymore. He's dealing with brand CEOs. You understand? So it goes beyond what we're doing, but you have to start early.
Okay, so I see a question. Let me pause my question. I'll take this and then we'll go back to my question. So, must you be in a big club and also very good in the field? Okay, in the field of play to get, of course, you have to be good. You have to have something. So, but let me ask the question.
Not necessarily.
Yeah. Okay, so that means it's not a must that you're in a big club.
No, not necessarily.
To attract investment. Okay.
It helps. It helps, but it depends on the way you want to run it. You understand? So it's not by that. If you don't have to be the biggest player for you to have endorsement. You don't need to be the biggest player for you to be successful. Like Michael Menelo. Yeah, going back to history, 1994, on our first World Cup, he was just one of the players. If you can go and check statistics, that he didn't play in all the games and everything, but nobody can touch him right now. He's the most successful. He's the most successful Nigerian that's into football.
At management level, exactly.
Any level. If you talk about football, it's the biggest.
Michael Emenalo.
Yeah, how did he do that? It has to do with branding as well. You understand? When he was playing, he was studying. He studied in America. Branding has to do with leverage. He leveraged on his brand. Yeah. When he was playing in Israel, the coach he played with, he proved himself to the coach that, look, I can do this. I studied this. I did this and that. I said, okay, not a problem. When the guy was in Chelsea, he brought him over. That's relationship. That's branding. With that, when he was in Chelsea, the rest is now history. So you just have to apply yourself. You have to do the right thing. You have to take your opportunities. There's so much opportunities. Don't let any opportunity go. That's where you need good heads around you. But it's not about you having entourage, and being the smartest guy. If you are the smartest guy in the room, you're in the wrong room. As a footballer, you need to get people that are smarter than you. But some footballers are comfortable with having PAs. Your PA cannot be your manager. Your PA cannot be your brand manager. It's not equipped for that. So that is a problem we had in the entertainment industry. A lot of people use their PA as their manager because they want to pay them peanuts. But eventually, when they saw it wasn't working, people then hire proper managers. So where we're going in football now, there'll be a time that everybody needs a brand manager apart from their agent, because 99% your agent will not have time to help you with your brand. I was speaking to a big agent in the UK, because when I go for all these seminars, we talk. I say, what do you do with your players regarding sport marketing and branding? He said, if it comes, it comes. We haven't got time for that.
That's not my job. That's not my core.
Straightforward. He said, if it comes, it comes. We don't do any extras.
We don't do any extras.
So that is when the player has to take his destiny into his hands.
So players, you've heard it, right?
You need to, because players, they will still be like telling you that, oh, okay, like this period that they're off now, it's time for you to really jump on your brand and do stuff. They'll say after Corona, you'll be too busy.
Yeah, very true.
So now, it's the truth of that. I think where the problems lie is understanding. You know, understand that they don't understand. So that's why I break it. You know, most time I break it down just for understanding. If they understand, they will know what they're missing out on. You understand?
Yeah. So people are agreeing with you. Excuse me. So people are agreeing with you. So someone says very true, very true. Yeah, I mean, but someone says what's his name now? 0.7 something. It says if it is that way, when you mentioned about Emenalo, it says why don't all players have endorsement? I think you already mentioned it then. You need to do stuff for yourself. You need to put yourself out there, right?
Listen, I'll repeat again. As far you are a pro, you are a professional, you're playing in one of the top leagues, you are in the Super Eagles, you not having an endorsement is a problem. You are entitled to an endorsement. You should have an endorsement. If you don't have an endorsement, you should ask your agent what is happening. You should tell your agent, listen, I think you have to partner with someone that understands this stuff.
Yeah.
You cannot be in the Super Eagles, you cannot be in a professional club, yeah, and say you don't have an endorsement. For me, it's unacceptable. I've seen players, I can tell you that, I can close my eye and tell you that this player already have an endorsement. It's just for him to knock on the door. And it starts from one. Once you have one endorsement, the other people will come, they will copy, they will like, you will have more. Endorsement plays a big role in your career because it's an endorsement that is going to put you out there. You know, it's an endorsement that Shehu Abdullahi, yeah. When he had the Pepsi deal, everything changed for him because his billboard was all over every city in the north.
Absolutely.
His face was there.
It shot him into the world. Like, it shot him into every corner of Nigeria. You know, people now know Shehu.
They now know the face. They see the billboard. Okay, this one is a footballer. So it's different in Nigeria, but like if you go to Cameroon, yeah, it's not coincidence, yeah. If you go to Cameroon, yeah, Samuel Eto'o has invested in his brand. So that's why when you get at the airport, like in Nigeria airport, when you're coming out, I don't know if you're flying from abroad, when you come, you see Burna Boy's poster there. You see Tiwa Savage there. We should be our Nigerian players. But the only way they can be there if they invest in their brand. Listen, Burna Boy, they invest in their brand. Yeah. Tiwa Savage Tiwa Savage has a manager, he has a PR person, he has a full team. You need to have a team. You see, so that's how you have it. If you go to Cameroon, yeah, Samuel Eto'o
will be everywhere.
Everywhere.
I want to go to Cameroon. I want to see him, but I've not been to Cameroon before.
So that's the truth. So
just like in India, you mentioned Samuel Eto'o in Cameroon. In India, if you go to Mumbai, right, on TV, billboards, you see these guys everywhere. The actors, they are there. They are everywhere.
I will send you
cricket.
I will send you something. That particular guy, as I told you, he has more endorsement money than Messi. I will send you. It's a fact, yeah, because he has a team.
Okay, that's Shah Rukh Khan, right?
Yeah. I'll send you the figures. Yeah. The truth of the matter is that for you to have an endorsement, you need to have a team. I'm not saying groupies, people that go up with you, people that you need to have a team. Samuel Eto'o, I've worked closely with them. That when Samuel Eto'o is coming down from his room, yeah, he has 4 people that works with him. He has a female and 3 guys. Everybody there with their laptop. They're waiting. As he comes downstairs, okay, what are we doing today? He start typing. Everybody's okay. They're taking notes. Okay, these people reach out to us. Okay, follow up on that. That's how you do these things. You cannot leave all those loose ends. Do you know how many opportunities Nigerians have lost? People will DM there. They will not look into DM. Obviously, they don't have the time. So that's why they need a team.
All right. So Instagram is telling us that we have less than 2 minutes. So we'll just keep talking. So when it goes off, we'll come back immediately, just for a few minutes, and then we wrap. Right. Next generation. Thank you, guys. So let me use this to recap what Drew has said earlier. So he has told us where to start from, right? You need to start for the purpose of those who are just joining, for the benefit of those who are just joining us. We've talked about social media. We've talked. All right, so sorry guys. Yeah, Instagram ends it once it gets to an hour mark. So we will continue with Drew right away. We're talking about branding, how to brand athletes, how to brand footballers. What do they do? Social media. What do you do on social media? If you are you just on social media posting pictures of your girlfriend, posting pictures of your boyfriend? How do you take advantage of the medium as a footballer to make more money for yourself? You're not going to play football, right? I'm just waiting for Drew to join in a minute, and then we'll continue. Yeah, Drew. So,
Yes.
I mean, let me allow a few people more to come online so that I would ask you this critical question because a lot of people are looking at athletes who have finished playing football. They've quit football because of age. They've retired. Um, I mean, things are not the same. Things will never be the same. But people do not understand until they get there, right? I know they clear until the thing don't reach. Until you don't reach finish, you'll come and say, oh, I don't play ball finish. You're waiting for the next thing, you know. So I see more people coming on board. So guys, I'm going to shoot straight. Drew, tell us, for players who have finished playing football, how do they continue to be relevant? What do they do at that point in time? Or maybe you might want to start from what they ought to have done and then what they should do when they finish to be relevant.
Okay. I'll go straight. Is that one thing is that when it's over, it's over.
You always say these things.
You understand? So that your window, the window you have, yeah, you need to use that window well by investing, by getting a brand manager, having a manager. Apart from your agent, have a manager. Tell your agent you need a manager to be managing stuff for you because your agent obviously cannot do it. You understand? Because I'm lucky because of my background. I'm lucky to have a strength that, yeah, I think, okay, I would say the best agents are people that have law background or accounting background.
Okay.
Yeah. And the third one is that people that have media background, you know, people that have the PR marketing background. So marketing background to say. So the best agents are, you know, the ones with law background because the law will be good for them for the contracts. The accounting will be good for you, the books, to keep your books in check. Yeah. And then with the marketing background, marketing is everything, branding is everything. In everything, I will say this word, in everything, yeah, in everything, branding is everything. Yeah. In everything, branding is everything. You know, no matter what you do in life, branding is everything. So the question, going back to your question, is that okay? After their career,
Yeah.
where did they go from? Yeah, okay. It's always a problem when you want to start after you finish your career. Yeah, because then you'll be desperate. Yeah, yeah, and you have maybe like you have opportunity to make mistake, maybe like twice, and that's it. And after that, you're gone. So after that, you know, because it's when you are relevant, that's when you should like reach out, talk to
Yeah.
people. If it's not everybody that can talk, but get somebody that can, you know, that can communicate for you, that can liaise, that can, you know, talk to you. Because once you're a footballer, you can talk to the president, you can have audience
Yeah.
with the president, you
Yeah.
know,
Very true.
you can have audience with anyone. So you have to use those, you know, you have to network, you know. You don't have to be full of yourself, but sometimes it's not their fault, you know. If they can't be that saying they need somebody. Okay, if you don't do that, by the time you finish, when your career is done and dusted, yeah, you are panicking. You want to rush and do things. Then you make mistakes. Most of our ex-players that are broke now, it's not like they didn't have money. They dupe them. They dupe them. And these are even like family members, people that are close to them. Somebody will say, go bring your guy, don't worry. Go bring her, we'll go. You know, Wissinaruma made a lot of money in France. He had a good career. It's a family member that duped him. And you won't know because you have been naive. Then you're panicking. So, but when during your career, if you start from there doing things and you've seen the mistake, you've started. That's why I say that it's step by step.
Yeah.
if you have an endorsement during your career, it's most certain that you will eventually partner in that endorsement or be an owner, have the same product, maybe a similar product, because you know that this product is making money. You have a similar product of your own, and then you are owner. It's when you are owner, that's when you cannot be broke. But if you don't have anything of your own, you unfortunately you know the money will
go broke.
You go broke. You see, you go broke. So most of our players, they start too late.
Very true. Very true. So I'll just do a quick shout out to I see Onazi Ogenyi, Super Eagles International, Nigeria International. Onazi, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
I've seen a lot of players. Don't call their names. Don't call nobody. Let everybody does it. You know, we are all educating and learning.
Yeah, I mean, we were just learning, trying to see how we can take advantage right now before the game ends, right? Okay, so you've mentioned these things about when it ends. So a lot of people are asking questions as far how to be an agent, how do you brand a player in the MPFL? Someone is asking, how do you brand a player playing in Nigerian Professional Football League again?
I've answered.
You've answered the question, yeah, exactly.
So you know, they need to start from somewhere. Their club has to have. They need to have a platform. You cannot be branding from zero. You know, they need to have a platform so people can relate to that. If you're branding yourself. You say you're a footballer. You play in a club. The club is nowhere to be found. How does that? It's like you're wasting your time. So make sure your club is your club is there. You know, your club is following you on Instagram. You're following your club. That is then they'll say, okay, confirm that some people, they take things for granted. Some players, they join a club, they don't. You need to have a manager to communicate with the media team there. So they can, because the media team can do a lot for you. They can send you pictures. They can celebrate you. You know, do you know, it's funny enough, do you know some of our Nigerian players, their club will forget that it's their birthday. There's a player, I don't even work with him, but I have the proof to show him eventually, like, on your birthday, your club, they forget you because you are not important to them. I will send a message to the media team, celebrate this guy, and they will do straight away. This is a Premiership club. So, these things we do a lot, because for me, it's giving, it's helping out, So, if your club cannot remember you, what does that tell? It doesn't tell much, and, they don't have your time. So you have to, like, push yourself,
I'll take a quick question again. Someone is saying, do female footballers, John Miracle is saying, do female footballers need as much branding? Of course, female footballers are
they need it more. Well. They need it more. They need it more because that's where they make their money from. You understand? In America, they don't get paid that much, so you have to, really jump on branding so you can make extra money apart from your salary. The whole idea is for you to make extra money so that you will not touch your salary. You can live comfortably with your endorsement money. A lot of athletes in America don't even touch their salary.
Interesting.
They just invest it.
Interesting. All right, I've got a question from sorry, what's his name again? Xavier Pablo. Do football agents also need branding? Everybody needs branding, right?
Everybody needs branding now. Branding is to put you out there so people will know. People will not buy what they see. You see, they always buy what they see. So, I feel sorry for footballers that do not brand themselves. They do brand themselves, but they just need to structure it. Everything you put on social media is towards your brand. It's a process, and consistency is very important. Yeah, there are a lot of players that are doing well, but I've seen a lot of players that have got big brands, massive brands, but they're not really applying. They're not doing what they should be doing because they don't have a brand manager. They're just doing, try your luck. You can't do try your luck.
I have another interesting question. Here, Drew. So guys, let me do a quick shout out to Eagles Tracker. Thank you guys. Omar Akatuba, thank you so much. Respect. Omar is joining us from Germany. I see some guys from Canada.
Omar is
Thanks.
my man, my homeboy.
Thanks a lot, guys. So, the Africa Jaguar asked once again: do you think brand managers with little or no knowledge about football can manage players? I mean,
no, I mean it's a good question. I mean, you should have, you should understand. You should know where the player is coming from. You should, I think that you should understand the players, how, understand the game, understand, understand. You should know about this. You should have an idea about football, and understand where, understand where the player is coming from, his cultural background, what makes him tick and stuff like that.
Aregbe Ahmed asked, what's your advice for a footballer who is still in the university but needs to brand himself?
Ooh, I mean, your brand is you. Just do what you have to do. Or you're a footballer. So if you're a university, you're most likely, should be playing maybe after your, continue your studies in America, probably play in your college or whatever. Because it's, I mean, if once you are 18, a club in Europe should think that you should have signed your professional contract. So if you're in university, that means you're not in the in the scheme of things. So for you to be in the scheme of things, there must be a history about you. Yeah. At the age of 18, you should be playing pro already. Yeah. You cannot be 18, you cannot be like 22 and say you want to go and play for an academy. It's a process. So that's where most times we miss out.
Someone asked the question, relating to what you just said now, Drew. Someone asked a question that at what age, I don't know, I missed the question in the first session.
Sorry. Ayo is saying something there, which is very important. That's the
very important.
The president of the
football intermediaries.
Intermediary. So anybody that wants to be an agent, this is the guy you should be talking to. Sports top PR. Don't be asking me questions. If you're in Nigeria, you want to be an agent, this is the man you have to speak to. Follow him on Instagram. Sports Top PRO. Yeah, that's the guy you should be talking to.
Yeah, so Sports Top Pro is the Football Intermediaries Association of Nigeria president.
Is the president.
Yeah. So you guys, if all of you guys that have been asking me, or you've been asking Drew, how can I become an agent? How can I start managing players? You can talk to Sport Top Pro. Guys, as well, please, what we're doing on this platform is to ensure that we educate our players. We've got a lot of players watching now. This is what we do at Footballers Connect. Please follow our page. Do us a service by following our page. Recommend us. We want to ensure that our players have got enough education in terms of how they join clubs, in terms of what kind of decisions they make, in terms of media, in terms of management. We want to make sure that players don't fall into wrong hands. We want to make sure that players are getting the right investment. We want to ensure that they are well branded. We want everybody to be successful. I also want to be successful. So please, guys, do good by supporting us. So we're going to ask this question from Ayo.
Take the question. Take the question from Ayo.
Exactly. So he says, branding needs a lot of content pushing, which is not available in Nigeria League. Please, how do you solve this problem? And it goes further to say, bearing in mind, football in Nigeria is still under government ownership. Who don't brand them? Who don't brand themselves?
Okay. Now, I understand totally. From what he's saying, that his statement is that content pushing. Yeah. That is branding. Branding is storytelling. Yeah. Look, what do you call it? Michael Jordan now is branding himself. He's a brand because he had in the last they say it's called The Last Dance. During the end of his career, it was being recorded. Yeah. If someone did that for Okocha during the last stage of his career, it will be something that Netflix will buy. They will buy. They will put it. You will have your commission. You understand?
Very true.
So content is very key. Content is content. If you have clear content, people will push it to you for free. I'm telling you, I'm so experienced in this thing. From when I was working with artists, yeah. If like MTV, Yeah, okay, in Nigeria, you pay to put your video. People have to pay to put your video on most of these TVs, like, all these. I don't want to call names. You pay, yeah.
Mm.
But if they see a clear video, they'll
Mm.
play for free.
Mm.
You understand? If I see a clear on my Instagram, yeah. If I see a very clear video of a player in Nigeria, I can put it on my Instagram. But I'm not gonna put a funny video on my Instagram page. So content is very important. So the question now is that, so how do we solve this problem?
Yeah.
The problem is easy to solve this problem. We don't have to wait for the government. Yeah. The Nollywood did not wait for the government. The music industry did not wait for the government. Yeah. The new ones that what the problem we're having with footballers now, yeah, there's when they're Okocha and Mokachi, yeah, the Sunday listen. When they were there, they were the only stars in town. They had no competitors. Yeah. Now, yeah, the football is the one that is still behind, that has to come up now. So what do we do? Yeah, Ayo, you're doing a great job. You got the boys together. You're trying to talk to NFF and everything. You don't have to wait for the government. What you do now is with smartphones, you can get good content. Yeah. People, Nigerians, I get people say, I got over 500 people hitting my Instagram page, GNE, they want this, they want that. Okay, even footballers. That's why sometimes they don't bother with their Instagram, because I feel sorry for the footballers. The demands are so high. People are sending message to footballers abroad. Ndidi, I want your jersey. I want your jersey. What are you doing for Ndidi? What you do?
What are you doing for Ndidi? You want his jersey?
You want his jersey. Yeah? You have to add value before you come to the table for business. You understand? Okay, there are guys there. Oh, you want to be an agent? You want to be an agent? Yeah. What do you? Okay, for you to be an agent, you can have a license to be an agent. That doesn't make you a football agent. What makes you a football agent is your network.
Yeah.
If they know you for a guy in your city where you are, yeah, there's a Premier League there. That you go there, you interview with your phone, you interview all the players. Yeah. You interview with your smartphone. You can do it. You can even edit. You can do everything. You take that content. Yeah, you've been storing it, you put it on YouTube. Do you know that I have a friend that shoots what do you call it, gospel video in London, one of the biggest there. He does that. He put it on YouTube. TV station all over the world, they go to pick up content from there. People are looking for content from the Nigeria League. Yeah, apart from the football content, the interviews. Why can't we get interviews and put it on YouTube? We are waiting for the government. Yeah, the other content. How did the Premiership became the best league in the world? It's not like they had the best players then or whatever. They had a structure. They interview players before, after. It's not about the game. What is surrounding the game? So after every match, you say, bros, you know what happen? You carry like a nice phone with a tripod. You say, look, this thing, if they see your face, then they go take by you. Maybe they see your face. You get that, all these people will say they don't have job, they don't have job, they don't have job. There's so many jobs you can do. Look at me. Yeah, I have been in this. I've been in the football. I got my license about 2 years ago. But what I've achieved in 2 years, people in the industry that have been in the industry for 20 years have not achieved it. Why? Because I move. I use my own money to travel abroad. I travel every weekend with my own money. So tomorrow now, I'm doing some big deal. People are wondering how
is this guy doing it?
Now jazz this guy now. So you want to be an agent in Nigeria, start from investing in doing something for it. How come the University League have more presentation, they have more better presence than the league? Yeah, because
Jesus. You just mentioned something else.
the students have taken it upon themselves. They're not waiting for the government. So what do I do? People don't even know what you're saying. You're saying, what do people see 10%? People like, you post something. You see 10% of what I do. Behind the scene. Yeah. I see anybody that have interest in soccer, in football, in every country. I tap there and say, guy, start reporting about players there.
Yeah.
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 I encourage them. What do you want? I give them access to these players. You understand? That's how we can grow our stars. Yeah. Because we're in a competitive market. Okay. You say, brand, a Nigerian player should brand yourself. If you don't brand yourself, do you know how many professional players we have abroad? You know, talent is not
It's
enough.
not enough. Yeah.
Talent
Exactly.
is not enough. Okay, let me say something. Let me go into entertainment a bit.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Wizkid and Davido. I've worked with both of them. You understand? From my participation in One African Music Fest. That's what. Even before that, I was the first person to promote Wizkid in the UK.
Interesting. Please say it again.
I was the first person to promote Wizkid in the UK.
Interesting.
You know, his best friend, Don Bazzi, will tell you that. Don Bazzi knew about Wizkid through me. His best friend in the UK is representative in the UK. I came to Nigeria that December because what we do, we go to Nigeria in December and see the popping artist. I saw him was the guy that was just coming. I took his picture, I put it on my profile picture on Facebook. And I went, who's this young guy? Who's this young guy? Who's this young guy? Before everybody catch up to him. Okay, that's by the wayside. Yeah. In 2015, okay, I've been working with Wizkid like in the past 4 years with One Africa Fest. You know, we do logistic branding for the One Africa Fest.
Yeah.
So we're doing stuff. You know, okay, Wizkid is more talented than Davido. That one is not. There's no argument there, right? But Davido is bigger than Wizkid in America. How comes? Simple branding, investment in its brand. You understand? Listen, Wizkid, you don't even know who Wizkid is. So talented, you can't even imagine it. When the first time I took Wizkid on tour, like in Germany, 2015 with LAX, or in Berlin, when Wizkid was doing sound check, the guy's music. Music is the guy.
Wizkid is music.
Wizkid grew up in the studio. So when he was doing sound check, just like Okocha, people will say Okocha plays. When they will tell you what Okocha does in training, Okocha does in training. Magic. That is the same thing with Wizkid. When Wizkid is doing sound check, you'll be like, this one has voice. This one, So okay, but unfortunately for him, it's not doing what Davido is doing. In America, Davido invests. He goes to radio station through his PR company. They pay for what they need to pay for. They do what they have to do. That's a typical example. Look at Instagram now. Check it out. Wizkid is on by maybe like 10 million or whatever. Davido is like almost double. You see? So that will tell you that footballers really have to invest in their craft. They have to invest in their brand. Because
I was somebody asking that, yeah.
Somebody that does not have the talent can do better than you in football. Even if you have the talent. If you do not push yourself. So as I said, Michael Menelo was not the most talented when he was playing in 1994.
In the Super Eagles. Yeah.
The Super Eagles, before some of us were born here, But he is the biggest Nigerian in terms of football. He's a super agent. You say he doesn't need to. People will say you don't even know what he did behind the scene. Because of Michael Menelo, yeah, we had Nigerians that were comfortable in Chelsea Football Club. That is where people like Tammy Abraham. He gave people like Tammy Abraham opportunity. He gave people like Olayi opportunity. He gave so many of them. So many players. There was a time in the academy they have over 10 Nigerians. If he was not there, would they have the opportunity?
We'll get there.
So people have paid. He doesn't need to shout.
Yeah, at all.
So what we have to do is that footballers have to brand themselves. They have to leverage on the brand. You understand? I can give you examples from the music industry. People like Akon. Akon has made so much money. 10% of what he's made, he only made 10% of what he's made from the music. Only 10%. So the rest of his money is from what he does, the leverage on his brand. It's because of his brand. That's why Lady Gaga said, "Come, let's do something." Yeah. Same thing. Kanye West. We all know Kanye West. Kanye West today, it was confirmed that he's a billionaire. but he's made only 90, not even 100,000 from music. So that means he's made 10% of his earning, and it's only 10% he made with his talent. So your talent, you should make 10 times what you make with your talent. Are you getting me? So now he's made over $1 billion. So how did he leverage on his brand? With his brand, he had an endorsement with Adidas. What footballers cannot even do, he did it. He have his own line in Adidas. He's made so much money from Adidas. So what you're saying is that branding is all about numbers. You know, say, I don't want to Instagram. You have to have the numbers. And I'll tell you guys something today. The Russians will say there's quality in quantity. There's quality in quantity. So that quantity that you're seeing, that numbers you're seeing, there's quality in it.
Quality in it.
You need to have the numbers. What's the name? Alex Iwobi has most of the endorsement because of his numbers. No, because before you have it, go and check your numbers.
Yeah.
So how do you boost your numbers? Is by branding yourself. You know, going to different. You know, so we're going back to what we're saying. If you invest in your brand will grow, just like as Davido has done. You understand? Davido is not as talented as Wizkid, but he's done better than Wizkid. In terms of, he's bigger than Wizkid in, what's the name? In America.
In America.
No, it's not because he was given birth to in America. It's not because he has an American passport, but because he has invested in his brand.
So I'll take this question from Eagles Tracker. It's a bit complex though. It says, how many players have a team member other than their agents? I mean, maybe manager. That's that Eagles Tracker. Am I correct? How many of our players have a manager other than their agents? Have a brand manager other than their agents?
Listen, what I can't really tell you that because I don't want to start, going into bed. What I can tell you for free, the people that are successful in getting endorsement have a team behind them. Like for instance, like Iwobi, his dad is there as his, that's supporting him. He has an agent. His agent has a team that works on stuff like that. You understand? So the Americans are the leaders when it comes to sports marketing. Yeah, most of the guys that have done well in America, they have a team. And the way it looks in the future, agents. Ayo will not want to hear this. Agents, agent is just there to sign your contract for you. And
but is the truth? Is the truth, right?
So what so except you are fortunate to have an agent like Drew Uyi.
Who also does branding, who understands branding. I mean, you mentioned it earlier, right? You mentioned it earlier that get an agent that has a background in marketing or in media or in law or in business. So it puts you in a very good position, right?
No, those are the best agents. I mean, the best agents are people that have background in law. Because okay, an agent, they must bring something to the table. What are they bringing for you? Yeah, if they have a background in law, they can scrutinize your contract to you very well. Yeah, if they have a background in accounting, they can take care of the books, your numbers, because it's very important for your paying the right tax. Because everybody just paying tax, they shouldn't be paying. That's where the charity company comes from. Then, sadly, then like Ayo, our president.
He says he disagrees.
No. You don't disagree. Ayo, what Ayo can be a good agent because he used to be a property agent.
He's a businessman. Yes,
he's a businessman. So agree or not agreeing, I know what I know. You understand? Those two, and somebody that have an experience. Experience is very important in anything you do. Somebody that have the passion, somebody that have the experience. Yeah. If you have not worked in in accounting, or you're not a lawyer, or you don't have an experience in life, how can you be a good agent? And you need to be a people's person. You understand? You need to have anybody can be an agent, but what makes you a good agent is your network. You understand? You have
No, go on.
You need to have the right network. Yeah, listen, in the UK, if you go on if you Google the list, yeah, they have thousands of agents that are registered. Being registered does not make you an agent. What makes an agent is to have something in your books. You understand? How do you have something? You have to be good. People have to be talking about you. This guy knows what to do.
This guy is good.
You understand? And from my experience in entertainment, a relationship between a talent and an agent, it's like a husband and wife relationship. It needs to be good. You don't just manage because you want a player. Because a player can break your heart.
Yeah.
It's a boyfriend and girlfriend relationship. You guys have to be like, you have to gel. You need to you need to have the same goals and the same dreams. Most times, the agent and the player have different goals. That's where they have problems. You understand?
I like what highly_ed is saying. Highly_ed says to be a successful brand, the athlete or the person must live a positive lifestyle because you are a public figure. That's
not
one.
Necessarily.
And then,
not necessarily.
And then Ayo comes back to you and says, modern day agents do more than signing contracts. Before being an agent, I'm a successful businessman, business manager in London, business and investment manager in London, and also a successful entrepreneur. Okay, so I've got one question for you. Yeah, go on.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, so I've got one question from Next Gen Football Services. It says, I'm a lawyer and an agent who is just starting out in the business with just 3 players in Nigeria. Can I partner with you? Are you open up for partnership, Drew?
Okay, you can DM me.
Okay.
I have a lot of partners. If you got what it takes, you have to bring something to the table. You can I mentor a lot of people, but the truth of the matter is that you have to come to a table with something. If you're not coming to the table with something, what's the point? You just want to take, and you have to try. Yeah, I mean, you have something there. At least you're a lawyer. Which is good, and then we can use those services.
All right, so I mean, you represent a club, right? You mentioned you were a media director at a club in Slovenia. How is it like, especially in this pandemic period? What is it like for business, for the football business?
Everything is on hold at the moment, and you should understand that most of the big clubs, they don't just depend on gate takings. So they still have what they still got what they've got. They still got they got their business going on. They got their endorsement. They got everything. But it's just like a temporary hold. But everything is going to come back to normal. So when we're talking about the big clubs and players are still being considerate. People are talking. Okay, what do we do? Do you want to take a pay cut? It's all about goodwill. Players, it's up to the players. The players say, no. I must have my full salary. I must do this. Eventually, you can't come back and after your career, you can't come back to the club. You see some of our big players, they can't go back to their clubs because they have issues with their club. So it's all about understanding. But everything will come back to normal.
Okay. So I mean, is it more difficult to manage players or artists? You've handled these 2 different guys, right? Which one is more difficult to manage?
I would say artists are more difficult to manage. Players don't have problems at all. It's just it's the contrary. It's the people around them that are giving them problems. Are the bad agents, the cowboy agents. Like in Nigeria now, they have some people that are travel agents. All of a sudden, they say they are football agents now. They will trick people, take them. Because I travel a lot. I go to like places like Ukraine. You won't know. You see the amount of people they've abandoned in Ukraine. They've abandoned in Turkey. Abandoned in all those East Bloc. Abandoned all over. Their players, thousands of players. So players don't really have problems. A good player, a good pro, it's been structured from his academy. You understand? They are grounded. They know how to carry themselves. They have the right attitude. Players don't have problems at all. But on the contrary, like if one is like talking about what's the name? talking about artists. Artists, yeah, there are people I still work with artists and everything, but there are issues. An artist, if you are under the influence of something, you can say anything. Blah 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 blah. If you bring this for me, hey, Baba, don't worry,
Artists
Baba.
can promise you heaven and earth.
Say, hey, Baba, no, this D, man, Baba, I mean, just tell her, nah. Later, he will talk with me, be like, did I say that? Nah, I can't remember that. Problems that like, because the thing is that anybody with talent is very spiritual. It's a spiritual thing, A lot of these people, a lot of these artists, they act like a banje, 1 minute they have that, But it's this talent are talent. When it's all over, that's when they will be coming back and begging. But that's what we talked before. Not true, Baba. Give me a second chance. When you are no more hot, when you are hot, then you say, guy, do the right thing. Leverage on these things. You understand? Most of the people that are successful, one thing with talent, most of the people that are successful, the people that have talent, they didn't make their money from that talent. They made money from somewhere else. You understand? You can make money from your music, but you make more money from the leverage, because when you have to talk, you have to network. Once you are there, you have opportunity to do, to have one-on-one. Some players, they think buying a box in the football club is waste of money. It's not waste of money. You buy a box, people put the right people. Some people buy a box, they use it to entertain people, like the wrong people. You understand? But entertain the right people, CEOs, everything. They'll come and watch. They'll be happy. And when they say, thank you for inviting us, what can we do together? You understand? Then you understand. Okay, say in America, there's a particular player during the NBA season, he plays his basketball. But when it's off season, he goes and work in a fast food restaurant. It's what people are looking at. What's this one doing there? He's learning the business. But now the guy is now retired. He has a massive chain franchise of of a fast food restaurant. So you have to learn the business. While you are playing, you'll be studying, understanding things. Because if you wait till when it's over, those opportunities that you have when you were playing will not be there.
Okay, just a quick question. Someone sent me a DM message just now. He says, I see players do some charity works. Is this also branding?
It's 100% branding, but they do not intend to do it, but it's part of your brand. Whatever you do is branding. You understand? So that is one of the best way of branding yourself. Giving out is investment. You understand? If you're giving out, you're investing. It's goodwill. You understand? You are gaining people to yourself. Why will if you give out, the people, like if you give out in the community, the people will follow you. You see, this is people wonder why Musa is one of the biggest brands in Nigerian football. The reason of him, the reason he's the biggest brand is because, like every December, before this COVID-19, he will send like 2-3 trailers to Kanu, share rice and everything. And the people are watching. The big men that want to associate with him in the area say, oh, this guy is what they do. Then Musa, people they know, they give Musa, they can say, Musa, take a house, take a car, take a land. Because they know he's got that equity. People want to associate with him because he's doing well. I'll tell you, I've given Musa an endorsement. After I gave him the personal endorsement, I gave him an endorsement for a house in Lagos. He turned it down.
Wow.
He turned it because he has enough and he has his own thing going for him. Why would he want why would Musa want a house? When he has an estate already, that is his own personal estate that he's pushing.
Very true. Very true. Very true. Sorry. Very true. Very true.
There are footballers and there are footballers.
Igu Straka says that even giveaway is part of branding.
100%. 100%. It's not intentional. Listen. What this people don't understand, you cannot, if you want to advertise yourself, okay, like giveaway. If a player is doing it by himself, it's like he's desperate. Somebody have to do this stuff for you. You understand?
Very true.
So giveaway is kind of, people say, who is this guy giving? They will come to you and say, they will appreciate.
Yeah.
You understand? So
Yeah.
it's all part of it.
So sorry. Someone says, okay. He wants to know. I don't know if you want to review. It says, how many Nigerian players are in your brand? I mean, are you managing? That maybe that's the question. Let's say that's the question.
Okay.
In your brand, that's what he says.
That would be telling.
Would you?
I'm working with a lot of players on the bet. It shouldn't be like, if I'm telling you, it's like they're doing it intentional. It's discreet. People, you need to do what you got to do. I can tell you that I'm working with a handful of players. It's a gradual process. In the coming years, you will see things are changing. I'm in the industry to change the narratives of the football industry in Africa, not just Nigeria. I see myself as an agent of change, and eventually I want to pass on knowledge as well to the younger ones, so they can. I can't do it all by myself. We have thousands of, we have hundreds of players abroad. I will, that's why some countries I'll just have a man there, try to, educate them, see what you have to do, go and check on this player, make the player comfortable, because the biggest problem we're having is trust.
Yeah, trust issues.
Trust issues. When I bring this guy close to myself now, the next thing, me, I'm, they know that I don't want from you. I'm giving. You understand? More or less giving. I give more than I expect. So if I get a deal for you, the most I can get for you maybe 25% or maybe 20%, 10%, but you get the bulk of the money. So I'm bringing money. I'm not coming to take. I'm bringing for you. And I can do that with every single player. Every single player. I mean, it's a gift.
Well done. Player, well done. Well done. Well done. I mean, we've overshoot. We've gone far beyond.
No, we didn't start. We didn't start well. We didn't start on time. Let's give it a bit. I mean, ask me any question.
Yeah. So Mr. Ayo is coming back at you. He says, Amos, please help me ask Drew to donate to Fian COVID-19 1 million naira for free face mask and distributing to Nigerians and all football clubs and players.
We'll do that on code, because I don't encourage people to be coming to my page. Once I do that, everybody will be DM.
Everybody,
will be too much.
Everybody will then flood you.
A lot of players are doing this stuff, and a lot of them don't want their names to be mentioned. That's just because it's just they don't want wahala. This is that. But sometimes I'll tell the guy, you have to, any little thing, you have to. It's a snowball effect. You don't know who's watching. It's not that you're trying to brag. Somebody did something recently, and I told, this is just what Ego Trackers was saying now. The guy did some donation. He said, he then came back to me and said, how can you help my brand? I said, what you just done now. And can you hear me?
Yes, please.
I said, what you just done now. I said, what you just done now, the gesture you've done, giving to the community and everything, is part of branding. He said, no, I'm not done because I want to brand myself. It's not like you did it because you want to brand yourself. Automatically, that's the thing.
It is what it is, yeah.
It's what it is. It is because it's giving back. It's goodwill, and it helps your brand. You understand? So if you know it helps your brand, just mention it. Just do it. And even if you don't want to say it, let people say it for you. That's why we are there. You understand? People have done great things. Yeah. Branding, one thing you should know, branding gives people confidence as well. I can tell you, I don't want to mention look at how many of our Nigerian players are over 500 have over 500 followers.
Over 500 followers.
How many? You have the Mikel, you have just a handful, maybe like 5 or 6 over 500,000. If you're a pro player, there's no, because sometimes you don't reach out to your fans. Reach out to your fans. You understand? If your club have, you should, as a player, you should have more followers than your club. Except your club is Manchester United.
As a player, you should have more followers than the club.
Yeah, because you are a player. A player media window is bigger than bigger than his club. It's bigger than his league. The league is playing. He plays in. So you should. So it's about time we start, doing things intentionally, structuring things, So things should. I'm not seeing any. Save this one so that I can see all the comments eventually.
Yeah, sure. We're going to save it. I mean, there's a lot of accolades coming in. Everybody is saying, "Oh, thank you, very true, branding experts." Guys, the African Jaguar. I mean, you guys, thank you. You are amazing. Like I said, what we intend to do on this page or as a brand for ourselves is to bring out this information. People are not aware.
Knowledge.
Yeah, education. Very important. That's what we're preaching on our platform.
Our players need to be educated. Not book education, but they have to know.
Exactly.
One thing with our players here, having an agent, most of them they have white agents or whatever. It doesn't stop you from having a manager. It doesn't. You say, loyalty, no one wahala, no one. You are the guy. You are the product. You are the main stakeholder in this your career. Your career is in your hands. Your career is in your hands. So you have to tell your agent, that guy. In this agency, you don't have a department for marketing. I think you don't have to. You just have to. You have to do things. You have to do things for yourself, because most of these agents are not going to follow you to Nigeria.
Yeah.
When it's all over. Taribo West is in Nigeria now. Did the agent go to Nigeria with him?
No way.
Most of so we have to learn from history. You understand? We have to learn from history. The people that can circumstances are different. Don't say because this guy is doing this thing, because it worked for him will work for you. You have to find your own niche market. It's something that you have to sit down with somebody that understands branding and discuss it. What I do, I don't have to manage everybody's brand. I can train your boys. I can train your brother. I can train your people, all these people that you have your entourage. I can train them. Some things I ask people, what is your entourage using? And the thing I hate most, every Nigerian player in the Super Eagles, everybody calls them big name. Psycho fans calling people big name. What are you doing with this big name? Yeah, fair enough, they are big name. Big name, big shoe, this and that. You are hailing them. You are hailing them for them eventually to get into trouble or whatever. So when you call them big name, try and use that. What are we doing with this your big name? How are we leveraging on this your big name? How are we getting endorsement with this your big name? How are we partnering with this your big name? So the footballer should be like, if people call you big name, they should just find their level, man. Because they call big name. What's that they help me do with the big name?
What is the big name they do? All right, thank you so much. If we decide to go on and on, we won't stop. We can discuss this for a very long time. So a lot of people are trying to reach out to you, Drew. I mean, you can send him a DM. You can reach Drew via DM. He will respond to you. He will take time to respond to you. If it's important, of course, you get a response. I mean, you want to say something?
Well, I think we should do this again, because really and truly, what we just did, that just like freestyle. Though we planned it like 2 days before, but I had other commitments and everything. But I think we should. There are other things we can talk about apart from branding, about young players being deceived. Young players, in whatever, that they give.
They are taken to Mongolia. They are taken to
Moldova,
obscure leagues.
Treating them like slaves. A lot of them are, a lot of bad stories, So, and we should try and work on our Nigerian league. People play in Brazilian league now. We should try. You don't have to wait for the government to do it.
Yeah.
Let's try and come together, try to build our league. Let us be, there's no place like home. People can be buying our jerseys. Our league can be okay. We can we can, if we start putting our footage on YouTube now, it's clear enough. Then the people in authority will start saying, people are not supposed to do this. Okay, if we're not supposed to do it, arrange the TV for us to put it on the TV. So sometimes, the way Nigeria is, if we don't do it ourselves, nobody's going to do it for us. We should stop complaining.
Yeah, very true. Fake agents. All right, so we're going to have a plan again, and then come back and talk about how to avoid scam agents, how to avoid getting scammed, and all those things. So maybe sometime, be that Tuesday or Monday, we can do this on Monday. Is that okay?
Yeah, let's talk.
We'll talk about it. So thank you so much. There's too many
topics to talk about.
Of course. So Instagram will be taking us off in a minute time. So thank you so much. I like to appreciate everyone. Please ensure that you're following Footballers Connect NG. It is very important. Help our brand as well. We're trying to grow, and then we're trying to bring this to you.
We should do something in Nigeria. Arrange a conference. I'll come down, because if you want a one-on-one session with me, you should be paying for that. I'm not cheap. This general stuff.
Stuff.
We can do. We're giving back. But so let's have a conference, get boys together.
Definitely. That's what we do. So
how to brand themselves. Now, even if you're in Nigerian league, even if they have how many players, one player out of there should be able to open an official Instagram page for by the time they sell a player, by the time they sell a player, then you will get something back.
All right. So I would say thank you again. Enjoy, and please stay safe. Right.
Take care.